gotta say, that color doesn't look half bad. It's gonna look nice with the black valve covers, black intake, and the black front runner kit. So I think I'm gonna start doing some of that today. It's getting kind of late. Kind of wanted to go home because it really isn't my actual day on of working, but I think we're going to strip the valve covers off, get those on there. I've got to really clean the intakes good and paint those, but I think I can get some more stuff than just this done, so we're gonna do that. Well, I threw the cam sensor in and I threw the valve covers on. See you later. Pretty cool, they say Chevrolet. So I laid out all the parts, or the boss man laid out all the parts for the front runner, the mid-mount system. So I'm gonna put this stuff on because I have absolutely no life if it's not working on cars, even on a 3-day weekend. So I'm gonna just stick around for a bit and do that, and then I think after I get that bolted on, I might clean up the intake and get it ready for paint. Maybe get a coat of primer on it. We'll see where I am. But I'm going to open up some boxes and start putting together some stuff for this front runner and getting that mounted on there. So if you guys haven't seen these things before, they're pretty tit. You get a whole mid-mount, basically, that's why they call it that. That is your water pump housing assembly. You get all the accessories, everything bolts onto it, including you get a damper as well, power steering pump, a GM Type 2 pump, thermostat, I mean everything. They even give you a turn-on wire for your one-wire alternator they give you, and an AC compressor. So I am going to further unbox, get all my gaskets and stuff, so we can start bolting it on the front of the motor. One thing I am going to do, different than the instructions, is I'm going to bolt my AC compressor on here first, because I know from experience with these valve covers, there's a bolt that goes right here that gets in the way that you can't put on after the valve covers are on. So I'm going to preempt that since I already bolted the valve covers on. First thing is first, we're going to bolt the water pump on, a little silicone on the inside and outside of that gasket, and then we're going to throw it on. It's amazing. It's almost like they've designed it so these holes would be where the bolts are, huh? And just in case you ever do have a water pump that fails, there's nothing to worry about, because it's not like you're not going to be able to find these anymore. It does come with the Holley system, but this is an LT1 style water pump. So any LT1 car, this is the same water pump that they use. One thing I will tell you, Holley makes a kick-ass product. Chase all your threads. The powder coat they put on these things is some thick bore stuff right there. These things, if you don't chase those threads, you're going to destroy the bolt trying to get it in. That's how much powder coat they put on these units. Alright, this can get a little tricky with one person, one-handed, but I'm a trained professional. Semi-trained, semi-professional. Not bad looking. Let me go get my ratchet and 18 foot-pound these. So this one, you notice, uses a short bolt. That's because they engineered it like that for clearance for the alternator. It's actually a very well engineered system. Actually, before we do the alternator, I'm going to put my crank lid on. A little bit of grease to help it slide in. Turn it up a little. There we go. We are in. Like I said, it's a complete kit. They even give you a factory GM crank bolt. And I'm going to tighten it the factory GM way. Yeah, that's tight. Now for the alternator, they give you one socket head bolt and one button head. Again, more engineering stuff than I care to say I know why they did it. I can actually tell you why they did this one. This is for clearance for the power steering pulley I'm going to put on next after I get the right size Allen for that one. This is the 8mm. This is the 8mm. I already had it out. I mean, honestly, if I wasn't filming this and just throwing this kit on, these kits take me about 30 minutes to put on from beginning to end. That's how easy and simple they are. Alright, next, we're going to do the water neck next. So they give you a nice formed billet neck, or water neck, and an 86 Celsius thermostat, which I believe is somewhere around 190? Maybe? Don't quote me, I'm in America, I don't use metric system that much. Next, we will do, they also give you, so you have bottom ports and side ports for your heater hoses, depending on which way you want to run them. And if you run them whatever way, you can put a temp sensor in whichever ones you don't use. We are going to be using the side ones. They give you plugs to plug these two bottom ones off, so I'm going to wrap those with some Teflon tape and put those in after. I'm going to do the power steering pump next. Alright, so like I said, they give you a GM Type 2 power steering pump. Pull that off after. 3 bolts hold it on, but what they also give you is your banjo bolt and your fittings, and a nut, or a bolt, to bolt said fitting on. Where am I going here? Why am I having a brain fart? Oh yeah, because it goes this way. Somewhere. This way. This way. There we go. And gives you a 6AN fitting to run your power steering off of. Alright, power steering pump next. So as you can see, I got the AN fitting in line, bolted on there. So we're gonna slide her in. Throw these 3 13mm bolts in. There is ever so much amount of adjustment in this, so I usually put it down this direction. If you need more clearance, you can loosen them up and put it up there, but I mean, it's not that much. I just do it because it gives a little bit of space between everything. I've never run into an issue where there's been a problem with that. 18 foot-pounds, 18 foot-pounds, 18 foot-pounds. So you've got your supply here, high pressure obviously with the AN fitting, and this is your return. And if you want, you can actually get, they make, I don't think Holley makes them, but they make, other companies make a nice reservoir that'll go right on like factory does, that have an AN fitting on here, which is nice. I kind of like that better than I like this slide-on hose style, just because it makes plumbing a whole lot easier. You can use low pressure line on this side, but it's nice to just use high pressure line throughout the whole thing. You have matching line, like the line we have on the C10 that's over there is black with red braid in it and stuff, so you can do it on both lines and have them match and everything. Alright, next I'm going to throw this power steering pulley on. Okay, so just my handy dandy universal Mac power steering install kit. I just want to show you something real quick, because you will be amazed at how many times I've seen guys do this. Make sure the side with the lip is on the outside, because that's what your puller goes on. If you ever have to pull it off, you'd be amazed how many times I've seen guys push them on this way. I am going to clean off this made in China sticker after. For shame, Holley, for shame. Alright, let's get this on here. So this is 14 mil stud, 14 mil nut. So the way I like to use this is get this thing in as tight as she's gonna go. That's it. So I gotta go grab my 14 wrench and my 14 ratchet wrench, and we'll power that on. Alright, so as soon as this thing gets pretty snug, I have to get one more tool, but I gotta get it snugged up first, because this will spin on the whole shaft if you don't hold it. So I'm gonna go get my wooden handle, nice simple wooden hammer handle. That is going to stop this from spinning. So it's not let the metal part get in contact with anything. Hold on one second. So we'll throw this around here, put that down there. All right. I actually might not, no, I don't even have to hold this now that this is holding it. One thing you have to make sure though is that you don't tighten this down onto the hammer handle so you can't get the thing out afterwards. And right there, we are bottomed out. So I'll pull that off, and this shaft on the pump should be flush with that. I can figure out which way my ratchets. We didn't need that anyways. There we go. Flush. Clean off a little bit of grease that I put on there to help it slide on. Alright, next, tensioner. And then the belt. Oh, did I mention they give you a belt too? They give you literally everything you need. This is technically our last hard bolt, or heavy bolt. And there we go. Where did I put my Allens? Now we're gonna put this belt on that was made in Japan. Oh, Holley. You're lucky you don't really have any competition. Oh, I got stuck behind there. Okay, let's try this again and use my brain this time. Where is my ratchet? Oh, that's the 1/2 inch. Okay, didn't realize this was the big boy ratchet. So if you notice, yes, that does touch, but it won't once everything is installed. Na 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 na. And I'm going to take it off of the water pump pulley, because you always do the smooth pulley last. Ignore what I just tried to do there. There we go. There we go. On, we're good. And there we are. Now I'm going to put, they give you even a cover, so this looks pretty. So I'm going to put that on next. Alright, so here's said cover. Let me see if you guys are actually facing the right way. Yeah, you are for the most part. So it's got a little 1/2 inch nub there that's going to line up with the 1/2 inch drive, the wrench. You've got a screw or bolt that goes in here, and then this goes on as well. So we're going to actually put this on first. So this goes on like this, and this locates on the back side of that 1/2 inch. Sorry, it goes like that. Just slides right in like that. Mint. Put that on there, and then I believe they give you an Allen wrench to tighten these, but I'm pretty sure I remember them always having one in the box. But this box looked like it got dropped off of a plane at 10,000 feet, so we may have lost the Allen wrench. But I'm just going to use one of my own, because you know, I'm really rich like that. I got Allen wrenches. And snugged. And that pretty much is your Holley front runner kit. It's really nice, all compact. It's about the same size as the outside dimensions of the engine, so it packages really nicely. You get manifolds on that. The manifolds will actually stick out further even if you're using cast iron manifolds. All we have left now is the fittings for your water passages. Oh, I'm going to show you what this is for too. And then they actually give you a nice billet manifold for your AC lines too. So I'm going to put that on as well. So this little 1/8" pipe, the one awesome thing about these is this 1/8" hole in the back of here. This is where you're going to put your steam port from this line. So this I'm actually probably going to cut right here and then route this just neatly right under here into a barb fitting, and that's your steam port. So you still retain the steam port, which you have to on the LS engine, otherwise you're gonna have some heating issues if air can't bleed out of the top of your cylinder heads. So let me bolt on my manifold over here. This is your AC. It's a one-wire AC too. It's body grounded, so you just got to run power to that. And put my fittings in here, and then we're gonna test fit the manifold on and see how this whole setup looks. Okay, we are 100% done. I got no parts left over here to install. Exhaust gaskets don't count because the headers aren't here in the back of the shop. But in case you were wondering, because there are two different size hose outlets they give you, the 3/4 goes on towards the front, the 5/8 towards the rear. You can see the plugs are in there that they give you for that. I've got the nice manifold for the high-low pressure sides on here, and these are beautiful because these hook right up to your vintage air. They even hook up to your factory stuff because they're the correct sizes for it. The 57 Chevy I did a way back, one of the first cars I did on the channel, we did one of these front runner setups on his small block Chevy. So they make these LS, small block, Ford, friggin' big block, everything. They make them for everything. But these mounted right up perfectly with his compressor that he had on there, or from the compressor that he had on there to this, and that thing worked great. All right, so let me throw the intake up here and see how this thing looks. Okay, there it is. So sent some pictures to the boss. I'm kind of thinking this should be the same color as the engine, and he agrees. So I'm going to take this whole intake off, clean the ever-living crap out of the lower, and paint this upper the same color as the engine, and then I'll get back to you. Oh yeah, yep, I think this is definitely what it needed. The intake is over there drying. I just degreased and power washed and dried that off. That's like brand new looking black plastic now, and I think this is going to be just the right amount of contrast because that mid-mount kit and the valve covers hid a lot of this color, and it's a very, very nice metallic color, nice pearl color. So I think this is going to be what we need. So now, because I'm super, super anal, I'm going to go clean the fuel rails as well, so they look all nice and clean. This is a damn good looking engine, and I've built some damn good looking engines, but this is a damn good looking engine. So let's take a look at it. So this is going to look magnifique in the 69 Chevelle engine bay. It's almost a shame we got to put it in a car, because I would just put it on a stand and wheel it into my living room and use it as a centerpiece. So I ended up painting the intake cover, painting the throttle body, because we weren't having something raw aluminum sitting up here with everything all nice and colored together and looking great. Couple things I've got to do. So this tube will be running my let me look at that tube. There we go. We'll be running my PCV system, so I've got to put an inline PCV to the vacuum nipple on here, and then this one, like I always do, there'll be a hose coming off of it going somewhere into the air intake tube to recycle all the gases back in there. Like I said earlier, I'm going to snip this probably here and just run that hose under here to that steam port that you can see through there for the air bleed. But I mean, this whole front runner kit, this whole engine looks great. So we're going to end up getting a PSI standalone harness for this, because we have the entire harness, but it's the factory harness, and we don't need ABS and the emissions crap and all the stuff that's in that harness, and rather than cut and unwrap, or unwrap and cut and wrap back up and have to redo it, and directions around the engine and whatnot, PSI standalone harness is just the easiest thing in the world. So obviously it's going to be drive-by-wire, so we're going to have the pedal, because we do have the pedal and we have the ECM, and then I can throw a tune in that. It's already got the factory tune in it, but I'll have to work on the airflow model and then a little bit of fueling with the addition of the cam that's in there. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. This is, well, what time is it now? I think 4:30ish. So I've been here since 7. So in one day I took this lump of coal and turned it into a diamond. Don't mind this temporary bolt. I'm not gonna finish bolt anything in until we get the headers on, because I'll have to probably do a little bit of tweaking to this, and probably gonna paint this the same color as the engine as well, or maybe black, because this is already the same color as the engine, so I think black would look good. It'll fit in well with the valve cover. And we have coils and everything at the shop, and I've got to start getting that stuff together, do my harnesses for my coils that come out of here. Other than that, that was a serious full day there. My table is now empty. It's just full of junk. Oh, I forgot to put away one tool. Okay, I'm gonna go put that away. Oh, 2 tools. I left some boxes out too. But this thing was a full day's project, and it was worth every second, because that is one hell of an end result.